Welcome to the video. You're here to find out how good a $45 AIO from Temu can actually be. I mean, it's got to suck, right? It's from Temu and it was $45. My AIO that was on my computer is actually a LianLi Galahad that costs something like $130. So how good can a $45 one be? Well, here's the thing. It's made by CoolMoon, but the wild thing was when it came in this box, not your orange bag that you're used to from Temu. Now, I don't know if they always ship everything in the orange bag, but that's everything we've got has come in. But what doesn't normally happen is this box didn't ship from China, it shipped from NewEgg. That's right, the computer company that we all know, NewEgg. I don't know if they warehouse this stuff for Temu or if because they're actually both Chinese brands, if they work together in that way for warehousing, but it came in this cardboard box. This is what's inside the box. It's our Ice Moon 240 with the greatest of Chinese information on it. We have the efficient ARGB sync, strong wind, PWM, no leakage, and run quietly. All the cool catchphrases you would need for a good AIO. Although the bonus of this AIO versus the other ones I saw that were super cheap is this actually is ARGB instead of just being a solid red or a solid blue or the rainbow color mix. This one actually is a true ARGB. So in this video, we're going to take this CoolMoon AIO and we're going to stack it up against my LianLi Galahad to see which one is a clear winner. I think we'll probably know, but we'll see if this can even hang against my 12900K. So how we're going to do the testing is everything's going to be tested with Hydronaut thermal paste to make it even, the LianLi and the CoolMoon. We're going to do a couple games on here to see what you can expect temperature-wise running games, which is significantly lower, obviously. This will probably have no problem handling it. But then we're going to do an AIDA64 CPU stress test to see how this thing fares against the 12900K. And we'll do that at two different settings. We'll do it at 100% fan speed for both. And then also we'll do it at a 45 decibel fan noise limit because I would have gone lower, but the noise floor in here is like 40 decibels. So I gave it a little bit more so you could basically tell if it was the fans making the noise or who knows what else in my house. Then if need be, we might have to bring the power limits down on the 12900K to get it to a TDP that this can actually handle. And then you'll know if you want to buy this, what the max TDP is for this. Because I think where it's like 250 watts is what my 12900K runs on an AIDA64 test. So we'll get to it. Here we have a little bit of city skylines. As you can see, if you watch close, the LianLi holds better temperatures with the same CPU usage as the CoolMoon does. It seems to be better with bursts of load, I guess you could say. So here's Starfield. I did have some GTA 5 footage, but something happened to it and I didn't realize that one of them was stuck at 50 frames per second and the other one is way above it, so we're not going to use that. But here in Starfield, at least you can see that the CoolMoon keeps the temperatures well in check. So if you have this AIO and you're going to play games, you're not going to have any problems, especially with a processor that's got a lower TDP than the 12900K does. You will keep it cool. Doesn't seem to have any problems with any of the games I've played. So running games is one thing. You don't tax the processor as much depending on the game. However, how will the CoolMoon fare against a LianLi with AIDA64, hitting it as hard as it can with the 12900K? So when we do the test, we're going to do 100% fan speeds and then the 45 decibel noise maximum fan speeds. For the LianLi, that was 75% fan speed, and for the CoolMoon, it was only 70% because they are a louder fan. So with 100% fan speeds, we have the LianLi first with an idle temperature of 30 C, but the max temperature was 82 C, and the average temperature was 78.9 C. The average fan speed for it were 1848 and 1873 with a max of 1856 and 1885. Now this will blow you away. So the CoolMoon had a max temperature of 90 C and did get a little thermal throttle. It was so little that I couldn't even tell where it happened on the chart, but it must have spiked somewhere and tripped it, maybe at that 90 C point. However, the average temperature was only 67.9 C. The fan speeds were 1620 and 1600 maxed, average, and the max of 2002 and 1973. So that kind of stuns me. How well, as an average temperature, the CoolMoon did. Of course, it sucks that it did hit a thermal throttle at the 90 C. And I honestly don't know. It's weird. I don't know if there was a difference in how much watts the CPU was pulling, because unfortunately, I didn't get the CoolMoon's watt. I didn't get the wattage for the CoolMoon when I scrolled down there, and that sucks. The LianLi did pull 223 average and 264 max. All right, so here we go with the noise limited 45 degrees C test. We'll do the LianLi first again with the idle temp this time of 27 C. Its a max temperature was 86 C. Average temperature was 82 C. And that was at 75% fan speed. It did pull 223 watts average and 253 watts max. The CoolMoon, it was an idle at 30 C. Its max temperature was 93 C with an average temperature of 88.9 C. That was a 70% fan speeds because that's the noise limit for that one. And it pulled 228 average watts and 278 max watts. So I don't know why, but it did pull more wattage as a max than the LianLi did, but it also was hotter. I really don't know what to say. That it kept an average temperature cooler at 100% fan speed than the LianLi, but not at the noise limited one. I don't know what to say. I'm floored that this $45-ish AIO cooler from Temu did a better average temperatures at 100% fan speed than my $130 LianLi AIO. The only thing I'm wondering is I bought that LianLi Galahad on January 16th of 2023. So it could be that it's older. It maybe has something to do with it. It also could be that, hopefully not, we'll have to open it up maybe in a future video, that it's starting to get plugged up, because the LianLi did have an issue with the microfins being plugged up, but my serial number didn't fall under that set of serial numbers that had the issue, supposedly. But it really makes me wonder now, because this thing did better. It's a thinner core. It's got smaller tubing. I'm just shocked. And it even pulled more watts on some of the, in the test, it pulled more watts. Yeah, it got warmer at a maximum, but the average temperature is pretty surprising on the max fan speed, because if you're really hitting it, that's where you're going to be, is max fan speeds, right? So maybe we should pull this apart and we'll see what the inside of this pump looks like. All right, let's get this pump apart and we'll see what she looks like inside. Is this going to be... It's got to be a nice set of fins, I'm assuming, because it did really well. Oh, we're leaking fluid already. We got some green fluid, so that's definitely seems to be a glycol-based coolant. This is interesting. So, I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to see. Instead of having a jet plate, this is just a standard, like a rubber seal that clips in here to seal against the top of the fins. The water comes in one side and leaves over here across the other side. And wow, those are some really fine micro fins. Let's get this. Wow, those are some, I don't know if you can see this, but those are some incredibly fine micro fins. We'll see if we can get some photos to put in here. They are absolutely, absolutely tiny. And those just seal against this rubber gasket. This rubber gasket just presses against the top here, and that forces it through there. A little different than the jet plate style ones you see on the LianLis and so many other coolers. There's no jet plate that feeds in the center and out the sides like the other ones I've seen. But there it is. Maybe we could take the rest of some more of this pump apart and see what the impeller looks like. The coolant, it is absolutely antifreeze. It smells exactly like ethylene glycol antifreeze. So I don't see how to get, there's nothing above here. There's no hardware. I don't know how to get to the pump itself. And I don't really want to break this thing. Maybe I can put a little prying on this cap to see if this comes off. Oh, all right. All right, there's the cap. It's a little diffuser in there for the LEDs. And let's turn this around. There we go. So there's the LED board. Got a little foam in there. Oh, it's wiggling up. Okay. Oh, wow. So there's, is that the drive? No. It might be. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Here we go. Holy cow, that's the impeller port. It lines up with this piece right there. So, oh God, oh, here we go. All right, this goes towards there, and here we go. Now that we pulled, this is the drive that sits in here, and after we pulled that off, we've got, I think this is a ceramic rod that's in here, and here's the impeller. And I'll get some B-roll shots of this so you can see what it looks like. This looks familiar. I think that's like the Asetek ones, I believe. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's actually an inner ceramic piece there that rides on that ceramic rod. This is built pretty well. Oh, biscuits. That's built pretty well. So that just sits right on like that. And that impeller will drive down through this tiny little hole. That'll drive the water through this hole, around this thing, or this channel, and then out the side. This basically sits like this. So it drives it through this channel, out around the bottom, and then across these fins. Not down the center, but directly across the fins where that rubber seal keeps this closed off. That's impressive. I have plans for this. I got a little idea I ordered some parts for that we might use this for now because it works really well. Thanks for joining me on this adventure of finding out if a $45 Temu water cooler was any good, because it turns out it was. And if you're on a tight budget and you would like to go water cooling, then this really doesn't seem like a bad option. It's hard to tell you how long the motor would last or how long some of the seals in the things will last, but it looks pretty decent for the money. Well, it's pretty decent for even a little bit more money. But I have some plans for this. Now that I saw how decent the pump is, I am going to be removing this radiator, and I have a water-to-water heat exchanger coming, and we're going to see what we can do with that. So thanks for watching. Shoot me a like maybe and subscribe.